Hi everyone, happy Friday because it's Friday when I'm reporting this. I guess I wanted to give another update. I had said last time, so I guess last time was when I thought that I may have had a positive pregnancy test. And I guess it was just an evaporation line. It happened once or twice more, which was kind of discouraging, but so we move on. I guess relatively, I'm still, at the beginning of this, and you know, it's been 4 months of trying now, but without a period. So that was, you know, not so likely to happen. And however, if it was ever to come to a year and I hadn't gotten pregnant, I would definitely start with January and the time frame that I didn't have my period as like trying time. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyways, the update now is that I finally got my period. So it was a very big week for me as far as TTC updating. So to start with, I actually had a doctor's appointment on Monday. So I guess where we left off was, I want to say it was like around cycle day 90 or something, coming off of the NuvaRing. And um, after 90 days, I just gave up. I made a doctor's appointment. I got in as soon as possible. It's not easy to get a gynecologist appointment. I know that that's everywhere, but here too, we have socialized medicine. So if you have just like the normal state working insurance, health insurance, then you uh, are open to all the public doctors, but then you can have private insurance and pay more, and then you can see private doctors. And I just have the public insurance. It's been fine so far. Um, but a lot of gynecologists are private, so if you pay more, then you can have short waits and get in for problems easier, but I don't. So it takes a while, and I kind of had to like convince them in German too when I was talking to them on the phone because I had a normal appointment in June for my every 6 month checkup here, which is also a rule in Austria. But I called and said, yeah, and they said, yeah, you're booked in June and we don't have any appointments before that. And then I had to try to explain in German because my German is not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. And so I had to explain that, it was an issue that I was having and that it's been so many days that I haven't had my period. And then they asked me if I was pregnant. And I said, obviously not, if that's an issue. If it was so much time without a period and I was pregnant, then I don't think I would be complaining. But yeah, so I ended up getting the appointment, and Monday was cycle day 110, I believe, which is a really long time. But so basically, what I wanted to talk to with my doctor were a couple things. I wanted to get an ultrasound, I wanted a blood test, and I wanted to ask about stuff like Clomid, um, and things that I can take to start my period. And I was more wanting to ask about something like Clomid, which is going to make you ovulate, rather than something like Provera, which was going to make you get your period based on giving you progesterone. So, and I was very like nervous to go to the doctors because I'm just someone that doesn't enjoy going to the gynecologist. I feel very vulnerable there. Um, and I had gone to this gynecologist once, and she like kind of really just rushed me around, and it's a different style here too in Austria, where it's not like you're laying on the deli paper and you have the robe that they give you and all the things. You like talk to them, then you get naked in the office behind a kind of like little, what is it, like a cover, and then you like walk out naked and you sit on the thing naked and you just put yourself in the stirrups, which I find really uncomfortable. They look at a lot of times Americans as a bit prude about the naked thing. And I hold up my part in the prude American naked thing because I don't enjoy it. But I've found a new technique, which is that you wear long shirts. It's key. Because then you go by the thing, you take your pants off, you take your underwear off, and then you're still covered because you've got a really long shirt on. Anyways, back to the point. But that first experience, she was just rushing me through and was like, take your pants off, you can ask questions later. And then I had my pants off and I was asking questions like, put your pants back on, you can ask questions later. So it wasn't very enjoyable. I felt like she was really writing me off. Anyways, now this appointment was pretty good. I accomplished most of what I wanted to try to talk about. So basically, I started by saying it's been, over 100 days, no period. And I waited my 90 days, still don't have it, and I'm getting stressed. And I told her that I wanted to check and make sure that I don't have any tendencies to be polycystic. And I mean, really, I'm not so educated about it. My sister has PCOS, and I know that it's a hormone imbalance. You can have obviously cysts on your ovaries, and there's like some tellers based on your hormones. And I had never had any of these issues, but just, I had lost my period once on birth control. I'm taking a really long time to get my period back. So I just wanted to see if that was one of the issues causing me not have my period. And so she did an ultrasound, and she also just, like, at first I felt like she was writing me off, and she's like, just wait longer. And I'm so impatient, and anyone watching this video is probably also trying to conceive, and they understand the anxiety and impatientness that comes with all of this. So I wanted her to take me seriously, basically. But so she did an ultrasound, and when she was doing the ultrasound, I was pretty happy because she like looked around. I mean, she didn't really like point anything out or explain it. She just like, everything looks good. But she did say, which made me really happy, that the lining on my uterus had thickened, and that she thought that I would get my period in the next 2 weeks. And so this was obviously good news and made me feel a lot better. She also said that, judging from the ultrasound, she didn't think I was polycystic. And to me, that actually lined up because last Friday, so a week ago, I got my first super positive OPK. So I'd gotten a positive before, but it was on these super, super sensitive OPKs where I was getting a lot of positives. And there's like 10 MUI or MIU. But then I bumped up to 20 so that they wouldn't all be positive, because obviously there's an issue there. So the other ones, the less sensitive ones, weren't positive when the others were positive. And it was always showing really, really low. And then it was like kind of a faint line. And then on Friday, it was like blazing, darker than the control line. Nailed it. And that actually also made me super excited, because it made me feel like, I'm leading up with my hormones and everything's going well. If you watch my other videos, I'm taking some things like Vitex and maca root and evening primrose oil. So I've been trying to use natural herbs to, kind of get my hormones waking up and less confused, because I feel like my uterus is just super confused. Doesn't know what hit her. But so when the doctor said 2 weeks, it actually made a lot of sense and lined up with when I ovulated, because, it should be about 14 days after you ovulate that you get your period. And my husband was away when I ovulated. He was in London, because, after 100 days, who knows when it's going to happen. And so I was a little disappointed, because then it couldn't be like a situation where we tried. But anyways, when she said the uterine lining was thickening, I was like, yeah, woohoo, good news. She thinks it's going to be 2 weeks. Wow, even better news that there's an end in sight for finally getting a period. And then she was just going to send me home like that. But then I kind of said, yeah, I really want my thyroid tested, because I was looking at some results that I had in the past of blood work. When I lost my period the last time, they tested a bunch of stuff. And then when I was going to a skin doctor, she tested a bunch of things. And the only thing that came back weird was that I had antibodies in my thyroid. And my mom also had to have her thyroid removed because she had nodules in it. So I told her this information, and that was enough for her to also tell me to get a blood test to test for autoimmune disorders with my thyroid and hormones. But she said to not do that yet, because it's better if I've had a period before I get that test. So basically, the whole point was wait 2 weeks and then get the blood test if you haven't gotten it, and then wait till 6 months before I give you anything to like make your hormones regulate. And I wouldn't want that anyways, because all she wanted to give me was, again, the progesterone that would just, almost like simulating your birth control, it just makes you bleed. And then hopefully your system picks up. But she said that could just throw me off more if my body's finally starting to regulate. Anyway, so I left, excited, happy, feeling a lot better. And then 2 days later, I got my period. And a lot of people say that, that like when you finally have the doctor's appointment, that's when like things happen, just for like stress purposes. But I really do think my body's like was getting a little bit more back to normal. I had just been nervous because I watched a video from the Mayo Clinic on YouTube, and they had said that, 40% of women get it back within 1 month after birth control, and like 99% get it back within 3 months. And so like the smaller the percentage I was in was making me more nervous. And I didn't want to wait around and figure out what was wrong when it was something that I could figure out now and, get fixed. Anyway, so I got my period. I feel good about this because obviously it's a period, so I'm super excited. Don't get me wrong. But I am a little weirded out because I got a positive ovulation test a week ago, and then I was like 6 days later I got my period, which doesn't really go with the whole cycle thing because the luteal phase should be 14 days. So of course I'm still messed up getting off of birth control. So hopefully that kicks in. And I am on cycle day 2 now. Yes, such a low number. It's so fantastic. To go from 112 to 2, I'm just really excited. So like I haven't been able to calm all the anxiety that I've been having because of course then I start looking at like when will I ovulate next time and where will me and my husband be? We have a planned trip to America where I go for the first week and he goes the second week. Now it lines up where he won't be there again if I do ovulate. But I think it's silly to worry about these things now, and that's what I keep telling myself to try to relax, is that good news is, first step, you got your period, you're in the game, you actually like have a first cycle where like I had my period on my own and now we're going into the next cycle. But I'm still stressing about like, staying on Vitex, or is it bad? Because I've read a lot of reviews about Vitex and like half the people say it's fantastic, half the people say not good things about it, and it goes back and forth. I know that a lot of people say that it's not good to take if you're already progesterone dominant, because then it affects your pituitary gland to create more progesterone or to balance out. But for some people, then you like overdo it with progesterone. But I definitely don't think my problem was that. I really think I'm more estrogen dominant coming off of the pill. So for me, it's good. But yeah, then I was like, should I keep taking as much? Should I lower it? I'm taking 3 pills. Should I take 2? But I'm trying to just relax. So basically, I'm just going to stay on Vitex. I'm going to stay on maca root. Obviously, keep taking prenatals. And for the evening primrose oil, I've heard that you should take that only until you ovulate and then stop, because then it could make you have uterine contractions. So that's my plan. I am really rejoicing in hormones right now. So this is like the thing I've noticed is obviously my hormones are back and in full swing. I've got pimples all over my face. And then when I had my period this month, it was like the timing didn't make complete sense. I didn't really think about it, but like on Monday, I was just feeling horrible. Tuesday I was feeling horrible. I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. I don't know if other people get like this, but when I have my period coming, I just like hate everything about myself. I mean, obviously I'm a girl and I have issues sometimes with, feeling great, but like when I'm about to get my period, I feel evil because I'm just like so down on myself. I hate my body. I just want to sit in sweatpants and cry. And I also like got really into sweets. So I'm going to America and I actually called my mom and like preemptively asked her if she could call Costco and ask them if they could make me a little cake, because I love their cakes, but they're like these gigantic sheet cakes and I can't eat them by myself and I shouldn't. And so I was thinking I was like, Mom, I just want to plan ahead about Costco cake. Could you call them and see if they'll make me a mini cake? Just tell them it's for a child or something and see if they'll do it for me. I really should have known, because that's kind of ridiculous. But I still hope, even with my period, that she was able to get the tiny Costco cake. So partially it's also me and my personality and my love of Costco cake. But yeah, so should have seen it coming. Hormones are going crazy. I don't know. I just feel I just feel like my hormones are coming back. And so I just really hope that everything goes well. I also stress in the next month a bit that like I don't have my cycle on time. Like my fear is that I again like have a super long cycle instead of being 112 days, it's 80, and then we keep shortening from there. I really just hope it goes back to normal. But that's why I'm taking the Vitex so that like that can happen. But anyways, I don't want to go and have too long of a video. So basically, the update is I got my period. And I'm going to get some blood tests to check my hormones and my thyroid. But in general, hopefully, this is just me coming back from birth control, getting on target. Hopefully, my husband and I can catch. So hopefully, my hope is that, and I guess it's always good to put your hopes out into the universe and like will it to happen. But my hope is that now my cycles get more and more normal. Maybe they're a little long, like 30-ish days, but that they get normal. I have normal cycles where I ovulate, where everything works out, and that also my husband and I can get the timing down so that we can, baby dance on the days that we need to so that it all works. But, it also is kind of ironic because originally my husband and I had talked about our anniversary, so like July, end of July being like our start time for trying to have kids. I went off birth control early and we decided that we wanted to have kids, try to have kids earlier, and woo, February, it's time, yahoo. But it seems like it's actually probably going to be more around when we actually expected to do it in the summer. But now my body is getting ready. So super good that I went off birth control early. I would suggest to most people that you go off of birth control early because you can still prevent getting pregnant off of birth control. And then you can actually see what your body does and get to know your body and figure out how your cycles are and whatever. So anyways, that's my update. I have a period. Here's hoping. Normal periods from now and getting pregnant in the next couple of months. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Okay, bye.